period of adjustment comes and goes, and almost everyone finishes up with this problem sooner or later. And the reason they don't realize is because in the honeymoon period they think they found the perfect person, and we listen to each other well, and we listen to each other's needs, and we're good at talking. You know, you talk to 3 in the morning, it seems to go really, really well. But what happens is, as soon as all that lovely ducky stuff dies, settles down, we revert to type. So frequently the anxious people say, he was so chatty in those early days, so chatty, right? And then after a while I think, where's he gone? Like, where's he gone? Like, he was so chatty once, what's happening, right? So we revert to type, and then where all the standard stuff kicks in. So the crucial thing is to understand your relationship isn't the problem, it's the fact that you're a human being is the problem. Okay.
Or breathing.
What's that?
Or breathing.
Or breathing. So before we move out of this listening thing, are there any questions, comments, thoughts at all before we move on? Okay. So next week, next Saturday, our last Saturday, we'll do a wee bit of this to begin with because it's so crucial. So let's go into the next bit, which, sorry. Okay. All right. When we get with our partners, what we really love is we talk to 3 in the morning. And we care so much about each other, we just can't stop talking. And we're so good with each other, and it just flows so easily. But what most people don't understand, actually, is that when life kicks in, you actually have to work to make connection. Most people have to actually plan it and make it work. And it's particularly stressful for people who have young children. Those of you in the room who've got young children who have them will know that when you've got young children, it's all hands to the pumps. And the pump isn't about looking after each other, the pump is looking after the child, the children, whatever. So the difficulty is, what tends to happen is the anxious and secure person in general spends more time on the children, and if it's the woman, what happens is the female child bond gets better because of course these mothers are mothering and so they have to do that. They've got no choice. They've got a little soul to look after. But the difficulty is that it comes at the expense of the couple connection. And so the couple connection gets mysteriously lost. And this happens to almost all couples. In my view, having children is the most stressful thing you can do in a relationship. The difficulty is, though, the challenge is, it's not just spending time connecting, it's actually making time to connect. Because the time is it's in such short supply. So you have to create special times together. Now holidays are great, but of course they're not always realistic. That's why I played that ABBA song, because it can be going for walks, it can be just connecting as you go to bed, lying side by side, holding hands or cuddling or something. Don't ever solve problems in bed, by the way. Never take problems to bed. Always, if Lucy raises something up and sees a problem, I say, honey, can we go through the other room? Like we get out of bed and go talk about it. Because it's really important that in bed it's lovey-dovey time. It's not anything else. So it's about problem solving at the right times and having quality connection at the right times. So number 2, try and create non-special, regular connections, such as walks, meals, and recreation together. Now, if you're a standard avoidant, this is difficult, because avoidants tend to be task-centered. And even if the task is, it doesn't matter whether it's work or even stuff around home, avoidants naturally fill their space with tasks. If there's a moment with the space, avoidants naturally tend to fill it with doing something. So this is challenging because to the part, they will say, oh, but I've got to do this and I've got to do that, and it's true. Well, what I've noticed is if couples say, right, we're going to spend an hour a day doing this, and we're going to choose what to do, actually the tasks still get done. It's amazing, the tasks just get done. And remember, it's not high quality time, it's actually just, it's not a huge amount of time, it's good quality time. So you have to really program in regular connection time whilst you're at home. So you've got to do like eat tea together, or make sure that when the kids are in bed, you then have a chat before you put TV on. It doesn't matter how long it is, like you've got, the crucial thing is connection. So it can only be 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And I often say to couples to start with, talk about anything, because it's really hard if they're not used to doing it. But what I find is when couples come back to the next session, frequently they've managed a couple of times in the week. It is very hard to prioritise what doesn't seem to, like, particularly to the avoidant, doesn't seem to really matter. Because, well, we're just chatting. Well, it's not important, is it? Well, yes it is. The avoidance won't see it as important, but the anxious person certainly will. They will tend to see it as important. And the fourth thing is lots of unsolicited affection and appreciation. So I can tell you a story about my relationship, since Lucy's not here, to either disagree or add anything. One of the things I learned very early in my relationship, and of course by the time I had so Lucy and I got together when I was 55. I was a very slow starter, and I can tell you there were many mess-ups prior to that in my 40s and 30s. So when I got together with Lucy, I knew some of this stuff. I was reasonably new to it, but knew a lot of it. And I realised that my relationships had been poor previously because I had really treated them like they were the extra in my life. They were what I did when I had spare time, which is a very avoidant thing to do. But it's very common for avoidants to do that. Now they get into a relationship. So if you ask the average avoidant where their relationship lies in the hierarchy of things they've got to do, most of them, if they're honest, won't put it number one. They won't normally put it number one. They might say, well, I really love her, and so on. But if I say, so if we look at the time and how you apportion time, would they be number one? And they're never close to number one with regard to time. But they're never close to number one usually in thinking about what really matters next. So what I learned to do with Lucy is I knew I had to program myself to actually have connection time. So I knew that I couldn't just risk it. I couldn't just do it willy-nilly. I had to make sure that Jeff factored it in. So one of the things I learned to do was, two things I really learned to do well. The first was, whenever she got up in the morning, I would drop what I was doing and give her a hug and a kiss. So I'm a task-focused person, I'm avoidant, right? So each morning I could see her, oh, there you are. What have I got to do? Hug and a kiss, right? So I built it into my schedule, right? And the other thing I did, which I knew I just made myself do, was if I was passing her, I always gave her a kiss. So I was just passing her, I'd give her a kiss. And what that really spun her wheels because it was unexpected, it was unsolicited, you know, it was a surprise and all that sort of stuff. I thought I'm really going well. So when you get a partner who's really surprised, you constantly give them affection. And the other thing I had to do, and I had to really teach myself to do this, because it didn't come naturally until Lucy reminded me it was required, was appreciation. Now, most women, not all, but most women really like being appreciated for how they look, what they're wearing, what they've done, a nice meal's been cooked or something like that. Particularly, now Lucy's very, very creative, so she dresses well and sort of looks after herself, and she really wanted me to appreciate that, because what happens, most women when they want to dress up, they're really dressing for their partner as much as going out. They want, when they go out with their partner, to really look nice. It's almost like they're doing it for their partner, not for them. So I had to be educated in this, and I wasn't a quick learner on this front. So I had to get quite a few reminders. But I learned whenever she got upset, I would not take umbrage, not go into mistakes that I've made. That doesn't, not helpful territory. So I would say, oh, okay, right, I haven't said how lovely it was, right. So I didn't allow myself to beat myself up. I just knew that something had to be done proactively. Right, now avoidance don't tend to need this. Now that's a bit of a problem, because what happens is avoidance can let the glass get more and more half empty in terms of connection, and they don't realise that they get to a point where they're starting to take the relationship for granted. They're not really making it happen, they're letting it happen. There's no proactivity in there. And so avoidance really, if they want the relationship to be good, they have to make it good for themselves. They have to go out of the way to connect. Are there any questions so far? This is such an important topic. It's the bit that no one was told they had to do. Actually, there are quite a few bits that no one was told they had to do. Any thoughts? No thoughts. Okay, so here's what I'm going to ask you to do. There's connection on several levels. So there's connection on a routine level, like at home daily. There's connection like, how do we really treat each other? Do we go to movies? Do we walk in the park? Do we watch movies together, sitting side by side on the couch? I learned to sit beside Lucy, and she said it makes all the difference in the world. And if I'm touching her at the same time while we're watching a movie, it makes the world even better. And I didn't realise that this really mattered, right? So it was a learning for me. So easy to do, but I had to know to do it. So now, if I'm sitting down in a chair and we're watching a movie, I think, I'm in the wrong place. I've got to move, right? So I've got to be proactive in making that connection happen. So the natural, everyday stuff at home, the things where you make effort to really connect with each other and prioritise each other, and it's much harder when you've got children, and it's really difficult with children and there are no parents in town because there's no one to look after the kids, because normally when people are raising children they don't have that much money and so on. So that's challenging. How do we get that special time? And the third thing is appreciation, actually going out of your way to appreciate your partner. So what I would like is the avoidance to get together and the anxious types to get together and share notes about this. And you can share notes about the good, the bad and the ugly. Oh yes, Jeff's stories reminded me of where I came from too. Or actually I've really worked on this, I'm much better than I was, that sort of stuff. Okay? Maybe a couple of groups of avoidance because there's so many of you, and because after that I'm going to get you to come back with your partner. But what I'd like is to avoid it, to share what they do, how they do this, what they've learned, and the anxious types, what they've learned about what they need, and how the anxious types maybe proactively make connection happen. Okay. Off we wild to